groups, we start off doing a bit of therapy. So how do you feel about writing? What scares you about academic writing? And I'm going to say 9 times out of 10, the first thing people say is referencing. Like there's something about it that like hangs over people, feeling like a huge pressure. And, the university does sell, institutions do sell it like that. If you don't reference, you'll be plagiarizing. And if you're plagiarizing, then you're bad and you're going to get blacklisted and doomed. And I don't know. It is that, right? You do need to reference. But I think that that's a very sort of stick way to sell the content, the idea of referencing. Whereas I think more of a carrot way of selling the idea of referencing is to see it actually as something really empowering. I like to think of academia as this like amazing web of knowledge where people are like always sharing information and generating ideas and creating things about, theses and articles about what you're interested in. And as a new scholar, as a new person writing a thesis and entering the world of academia, you want to enter that conversation. You can't just jump in. You need to know where you are locating yourself within that web of knowledge. And what you're doing when you're referencing is you're just telling the world, hey, this is where I am. I've read that person and this person's idea. I agreed with some of them. I didn't agree with some of them. But you're sharing where you fit in within that landscape of knowledge. And all you need to do in order to do that is to say, this is the person who I'm citing. That is the person who I'm citing. So for me, it actually, pardon the wordplay, but it becomes something quite exciting because you're saying this is where I fit in the world of knowledge generation. And it's the technicalities that I know scare people. And Peter, from putting that course in the chat, I think that's going to be invaluable because people worry about like, okay, where does the brackets go? What do I do with the semicolon? What goes first? The author's name, must I write their name out in full? Those things can be really scary. But I think with online referencing management tools like Zotero, like Mendeley, RefWorks, those really automate those kinds of processes so that all we need to worry about now is that concept of, am I doing this? Am I giving credit where credit's due?
Gabby, tell me at UCT, do you guys give students free licenses for these tools? Because I know at WITS, they only do Zotero. And I actually had the president of the convocation of WITS on the podcast the other day. And I asked her point blank, I said, why doesn't WITS sponsor more licenses for these referencing tools? What's UCT's approach?
So I know that the GSB uses Mendeley. So I assume students get access to Mendeley, which I'm not familiar with. I know Zotero. I think Zotero has a free, I don't think Zotero, so it does have a free usage. And I don't know, on my blog a couple of days ago, I did a post on what to do when you like literally cannot write, but you still want to make progress on your thesis. Because we all have those days and we just can't. Yes. And one of those things I put on the blog was like, take time to figure out one of these systems. There are tons of videos on YouTube. Figure out how to import your sources of Google Scholar. Figure out how to generate a reference list. I mean, the fact that I can do a thesis for 4 years and at the end of the process, click a button that says create reference list, and there is my reference list. I mean, that is completely mind-blowing. And I'm hoping for... I can't remember your name who asked the question, but I'm hoping for you that feels like a weight off your shoulders because you don't need to actually worry about what needs to go in italics and what doesn't. The machines are doing that for us now.